What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So today we're going to take a look and a listen to Ro Khanna. He's going to be talking about Social Security, the Social Security increase, and Social Security reform. And this is a very interesting little exchange here because he is on Fox Business and he's talking about Social Security and talking about raising taxes on the wealthy. Now, of course, Fox Business, because they are a business channel, they're really hyper-focused on making money, hyper-focused on, we'll say, people who are a little wealthier than the average person. And so when you talk about raising taxes, it makes them a little uncomfortable. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at this. But first off, if you guys can do me a favor, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell notification, and then click all. By clicking all, you'll get notified anytime we post a video. We do daily videos here, so by clicking the bell notification and clicking all, you should be getting updated every day. Okay, now I have an announcement to make. So this Sunday, I will be doing a live stream. We're not exactly sure about the time, but I will post this thumbnail early, so you'll get that notification. If you're subscribed, you're going to get the notification that I will be doing a live stream. So come by and say hi. Now, this is going to be focused mainly on travel. Okay, so travel for retirees is kind of my focus there, and I'm going to let you guys know how you can make that happen when it comes to travel, either travel credit cards or just finding good deals in order to travel. Because one of the things that I think is a struggle for a lot of people when they retire is finding money to travel. So now you have the freedom, but you don't really have the freedom to travel because you don't have the funds. So we're going to talk a little bit about that on Sunday. It's going to be a live stream. I do have my co-host. We used to do this live stream in the past, so my co-host will be coming on with me, and we'll be just talking about travel, affordable travel. So check me out on Sunday. Okay, let's go ahead and listen to Ro Khanna. He's going to be talking on Fox Business about Social Security reform. Here we go.
Real quickly, you are at least going in and touching that third rail of politics and looking at shoring up Social Security. Among your proposals is making a tax for those over 160,000 limitless. In other words, you pay Social Security tax on their full income. What response have you gotten on that?
Technically, it'd start over 250,000, but this would actually make Social Security solvent and allow people to increase benefits. Look, some people don't like it. They say this is too much tax on people who are making over 250,000, and I guess that's a fair position to have. But then, what's your alternative? Yeah. At least I have a proposal that makes the math of Social Security work and makes it solvent. I guess I'd like to hear from those who disagree with this what their proposal is.
Well, does it all have to be in tax increases? Can you scale or stagger benefits and retirement ages into the future? It's kind of as Tip O'Neill and Ronald Reagan did back in the early 80s.
I'm not for that. You could, but here's my problem with the Republicans. It's not like they're proposing that. They're standing up and giving a standing ovation to President Biden when he says absolutely no cuts on Social Security, no increase in retirement age, no reduction in benefits. And then how do you pay for that? I'm saying the way you pay for that is scrap the cap and increase and have everyone over 250,000 pay tax on the rest of their income. The Republicans don't have a plan. I mean, either you got to cut benefits or you got to increase taxes. You got to pick one or the other.
So there was Ro Khanna. Now, that very end there, he said something really interesting, right? The fact that you're going to have to do one of two things, or you might have to do a little bit of both. However you want to look at it, something needs to be done when it comes to reforming Social Security. And so either you're going to need to raise taxes or you're going to have to raise the full retirement age and do something else, because just raising the full retirement age is not enough. So you'll probably have to raise a full retirement age and then still have to tax people more in order to reform Social Security. And so why not go the route of let's reform Social Security by raising taxes, raising them enough to a point where everyone is paying or putting in, their fair share, so that 250,000 or more, those people would be paying in to the payroll tax. And understand this, really wealthy people, they're not really concerned about this. And they're not concerned about this because all they need to do is just lower their salary. So if they lower their salary down to under 250,000, they don't have to worry about this. And so you have a lot of wealthy people. What they will do, especially wealthy people who own corporations, what they do is they lower their salary down to like 80,000 or 90,000, and then everything else they take in stock. So basically stock in the company. And so that money is not taxed the same. So now they're in a situation where it's showing on paper that they make 80 or 90,000, but in actuality, they're making millions, if not billions. And that's why you see this shift when Elon Musk goes to the richest man in the world, and then he drops back down. That's because of the stock market. That's because if Tesla's not doing well, then he's not the richest person in the world. If Tesla's doing well, then he's the richest person in the world. So it kind of goes up and down. So when it comes down to money and when it comes down to this tax, the reality, let's be honest here, the reality, it's going to affect families the most. So families that are at that level where they're making $250,000 or more, that's who's it's really going to affect, because wealthy people will always be able to get away with not having to pay their fair share in taxes because they have these accountants, and these accountants are smart, and they get out there and they try to figure out all these different loopholes so they don't have to pay taxes at the same rate that the average person does. And there's really nothing, I mean, when it comes down to it, you see these politicians right now that are fighting against this, okay? And I'm not talking about Ro Khanna, but I'm talking about other politicians that really don't like when you start talking about raising taxes. And the reason why these politicians defend these wealthy people is because they know that these wealthy people are their donors. These wealthy people are the main reason why they're in office, because they're able to give them a lot of money so they can run these campaigns. And so the way it should be is it should be the American people. We stand up and say, okay, we like this person. We're going to vote for this person. We're going to vote for that person. And that person will represent us. And that person will be afraid to not represent us because they'll fear that they won't be reelected. But we're not seeing that too much anymore. Why? Because people don't even know who their politicians are. They don't even know who's in their district. They don't even, I mean, a lot of people, they could live in a state and not even know who the U.S. senators are in their state. And so because of this, because of the lack of knowledge of who represents you, it's hard to hold someone accountable if you don't know who that person is, or you're not familiar with their name. You might see them on TV, but you have no idea that they represent you. There was a video, and I can't remember exactly where it was coming from, but they were talking to some younger adults. They're all of voting age, and it was like kind of like a survey that they were doing. And they were asking them, do you know who your representative is? And this was in Orange County, California. And none of them knew. There was like at least 10 people in the room. They all didn't know who their representative was. And so that was interesting. And they all lived in the same district. That was what was really the shocker. And none of them knew that in this situation, Katie Porter was the one that was representing them. They had no idea. And so if you don't know who's representing you, how do you hold that person accountable? And so I just wanted to show you this clip of Ro Khanna. This is another politician that's talking about raising that cap. So that $250,000 or more, paying more into the payroll tax. Now, this is Bernie Sanders' plan. This is the $200 raise for Social Security. That's this plan that he's talking about here. And so we'll have to see if it has any legs and if it actually move forward. But right now, you have Democrats who do have a plan, at least, or we'll say Senator Bernie Sanders has a plan. And then you have Republicans that they haven't come up with a plan yet. And so we don't know what they want to do. We know bits and pieces of different things that they've thrown out, but they haven't put anything to paper yet, and that's what we're waiting for. So make sure you guys follow me, subscribe, hit that little bell notification. As soon as we get more information, I'll definitely let you guys know what's going on. But I want to know what you guys think about all this, so let me know down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.